As Kyle's sister, how did that make you feel?
Well, I knew eventually we were going to see something. But of course, that hurts me.
Virtual reality.
Hi, I'm Danny Murphy.
And I'm Evan Real.
And Evan, you've had quite the week this week, coming off the high of Love Island USA.
I know, I'm honestly so depressed that it's over. I feel like a part of my soul is missing because it's basically on every night during the week, and I don't know what to do with myself, but I'm very grateful that I got to speak to most of the finalists right after the finale on Sunday. And the kids were the Islanders, they were spilling some tea. They had some hot takes, some interesting reactions, and this is all before the season 6 reunion, which is just a few short weeks away. So I'm glad that I got my fix. But I think the first thing that was at the top of my mind was I think you saw that right as the season 6 finale was airing Sunday night, these sexy little steamy little crazy little videos of Kendall hit the internet. Everyone was just kind of like, oh my God, what what is going on? How is this going to impact Kendall? How is this going to impact him and Nicole?
The day he gets his phone back too.
I know. Like what a way to re-enter the real world. But I spoke to him and Nicole, and they seem to be doing fine. They were even talking about marriage, so they seem unfazed by the whole situation. I don't know. Look, maybe it just turned Nicole on. I didn't hate seeing it.
Okay.
You're opening your phones, like they're probably blowing up as you're sort of seeing all the fan reactions. What sticks out the most, like maybe moments from your love story that you didn't realize would resonate so much with the audience, but we're happy that it did.
I wish I genuinely just got my phone back. I feel like I've been trying to look at things and also like looking at messages from all my family and friends. But I've been told that like some people have like also cried like when I've cried like during like maybe my speech or like when I felt my emotions. So that's really hard for me to do, to express myself. So to know that maybe I'm like reaching people or letting them know like maybe it's okay to open up and be vulnerable, like it's not the worst thing. You don't have to run in the ocean every time after or something and run away. That's been maybe good to know. I don't know. How do you feel?
Same. Like we've tried to watch as many clips as we can. Late last night we were just so exhausted.
Yeah.
But I did get to see like our final date.
That was so fun.
And that was just one of the best days of my life, but also the most nervous I've been in my life. So seeing myself back, talking to Nicole in that moment, like sweating bullets, trying to just get across how I feel and like stumbling over every single word is just that's something to watch back. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh no, I feel that it was such a beautiful moment, and I think that despite the nerves, you did what needed to be done. You said what needed to be said. And I think it was so beautiful and relatable to see you drop the L-bomb. Nicole, obviously, you weren't ready, but then you sort of dropped the L-bomb in your declaration of love. And I think that's just so representative of a lot of relationships. Like, I remember me and my husband, we've been together for like 10 plus years, and he dropped the L-bomb first, and I just wasn't ready. And it took me a minute, and I finally got there, and it was okay.
I think for me too, I think I've said I love you twice in my life now, and it was always like after someone had said it, and I think I said it maybe too early or maybe when I didn't mean it, and I think I got hurt. I've ended up hurting people because of it, and I think especially because I know like at the end of the day, like I don't know. It just moves really fast in there, and I know what I signed up for, but it scared the shit out of me when Kendall said it, and I wasn't ready. But I know, like, my feelings for him, and I just told him that, like, I want to say this on my time. I don't want to just say it back to say it back. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And
still scary stuff, but I'm trying to be open and vulnerable and give it a chance, and I think it's paying off very well.
Yeah, I think it's paying off. I respect Nicole so much. It was the more Nicole reaction to have that way of just kind of jaw on the floor and saying she's gonna say it on her terms. Like if she said it, if she was like, "Oh, Kendall, I love you too," like, "Oh my God," like, I would have been like, honestly, like I was like, "That's not Nicole."
I think it was also when you told me we had to talk about it. I thought I like legit ruined things. I thought you'd never want to talk to me again. And you said if you say it a year from now, 5 years, like I'll be here. I think when he gave me that reassurance and I've never been given a safe space. He was comforting me in a weird way. And I'm like, I think that allowed me to be open. Like, I think relationships are just two-way streets and like reciprocated, and you've given me that. And so I've always wanted to like pay back the openness and respect he's given me.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I feel like I connected with your guys' love story much because also right before I got together with my husband, like we've been together since we were like babies, like 19 and 20 years old. But right before him, I was in this insanely toxic, terrible, like life ruining relationship. And Nicole, from what you've shared on the show, it seems like you also went through that experience. So it was really great to see you become vulnerable about that, open up about that. And then also, Kendall, you received it so well. And it seems like you're willing to meet Nicole wherever she needs to be met to make this work, given the history and, the trauma that it seems like you've been through.
Yeah, which he doesn't have to do either. Like, I know what I've been through in my past, and that's no one else's like burden to bear. So the fact that he like would listen to me and not try to change me or like want me to act differently, I think spoke volumes. And I'm kind of glad that you can get it, because I think those toxic relationships when you're younger are really hard to go through. But I think I learned so much from it. Like, I don't want that to define, I guess, like who I am moving forward and how I love. Like, I didn't want it to keep affecting me. So yeah, it was really hard and scary, but I'm grateful for Love Island and grateful for Kendall too.
I know obviously we still got to get Nicole to drop the L-bomb, but are we dating intentionally? Like, are we like dating for marriage? Is that like, is that sort of what's in your mind?
Okay, the dating for marriage still scares me a little bit. I'm working on these trust issues I have. Saying the L word for me is a huge step. I'm not opposed to getting married though someday. I think for me, I'm going to need a lot of like, what's the word? Like, I need to feel safe in my relationships. I think this is going to be a big test, like coming out of Love Island and seeing how we handle the outside together. But I'm at the age where I'm not dating just to fuck around, if that's what you're asking. I'm only dating someone if I see a future with them.
So you got my heart thumping a little bit right now. So I'm for sure. I am dating to marry. I take this seriously. I'm for sure at that age where I'm for sure looking forward to.
Yeah, you're getting old.
I'm getting very old. But the fact that it is like I have a great girl in front of me. Yes, I dropped that L-bomb. Yes, I was in a panic and a sweat, but I'm so glad I did because it's truly how I feel about this girl. She means the world to me. So that's why I cannot wait for us to experience life together on the outside. Like, she is everything. So that's why I'm so pumped for us to tackle what's next. And tests are going to come. But I know we're ready for it. And again, they just like these kind of tests make you stronger, and you got to go through thick and thin together to really make sure that if you are eventually for that time for marriage, if that time ever does come, that you're like, yeah, we've been through it. So like marriage will be a piece of cake. Not a piece of cake, but you know what I'm saying.
And then of course I had to get some reactions to this video of Kaylor, who she did not make the top 4, and that was, I think, a shock to viewers. Actually, no, I think it was just a shock to herself. But she didn't make the top 4, and Leah, JaNa, and Serena did. And they're obviously the 3 best friends in the house. They're called P. They got this tight bond. And then Leah, she's been the one, even though she didn't win, Serena won with Kordell. Leah, she's just blown up on Instagram. I think she has like 1.7 million Instagram followers.
And counting.
She is like that girl. I'm a Leonator, a Leonite, whatever the fan base is called. I am one of them, so I understand it. Kaylor had a friend in the background of a video on Aaron's Instagram story that does not get it. And basically she was saying no one's gonna give an F about Leah in 6 months. And then Kaylor doesn't necessarily react to that specifically. She doesn't engage in the trash talking, but she also doesn't cut it off like you would expect.
That's true. So she's by association with the trash talking.
Right. And her response was, and what you can hear in the clip, we don't know exactly all she said. She said, Leah's going to get a ton of ... And so I'm assuming, and what fans are assuming, is that she's talking about social media deals and endorsements and sponsorships and that kind of thing, which I'm sure she is. Not that she has like a bajillion Instagram followers, but JaNa and Serena, they were not feeling this at all. But speaking of talkative and Kaylor, when y'all got your phones back, I don't know if you saw that Kaylor was maybe talking about Leah with one of her friends in the background of Aaron's little Instagram video. Kaylor said it was all love. Leah reposted the Instagram story. What is your take on the situation? Is there tension?
Oh, did Leah repost it?
Leah did repost it. Yes. So you seem surprised.
Yeah, no, because I know I was just texting Leah. I didn't check her story yet, but yeah, no, we just learned of that. I mean, Kaylor's Kaylor, if that makes sense. So Kaylor's going to Kaylor, if that makes any sense. So I don't think Leah took it to heart because Leah is really good at taking bullets. If you've seen, she's really good. I just people will go for her and she'll just take it. So I don't know why Aaron did that.
But
Why, like,
I
you
mean,
know,
I think you can't mess with PPG. I mean, when you mess with one of
you
them,
gotta be careful.
and the Leonites that are out there, Kaylor,
Leonators.
Kaylor, I wouldn't want to be in your boat right now.
I was a
Yeah.
little scared for her. I was just kind of, as a viewer, I think that from the look on Kaylor's face, I think she was very shocked that she didn't make Final Four. And I'm wondering if you guys think that maybe some of her Kayloring in that video came from a place of jealousy.
Yeah, you know, so
Jealousy,
crazy.
right?
We were shocked that they didn't make top four either because they
Mm.
were like lovey-dovey. And yeah, the costume wear made Aaron look bad, but we didn't think it was so bad to where they got sent home. Like we thought either Leah and Miguel are going home or me and Kenny. So literally, like nights leading up, I'm like, PPG's about to get ripped apart. We love each other. It was a fun run. I'll see you on the outside. And Leah's like, no, I'll see you on the outside. I'm like, girl, we're going home. We'll see them.
Yeah. And then
So
I said I was the one who read the text, Miguel and Leah, and it was just like out of left field. Like
I don't
no
know.
one was expecting it. I think even they were up there
Strong.
preparing to go home, like
Yeah, so
mentally.
I think that was when Taylor was like, "What the f?" You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, Aaron admitted it's his fault they're going home. So was there envy? I don't know. Maybe I think because we all thought that Taylor and Aaron was gonna win that, no question. Like they had that in the bag, easy from the jump. So I think she was very surprised and hurt. But I mean, for her to say something bad, technically it was like Taylor's friend saying something. Right? Did Kaylor agree to it? I couldn't hear. Did she agree? I honestly didn't hear it. You know, we just learned about this like right
Yeah,
before
like right before
we hopped on the
we were
computer.
just scrolling.
We
Yeah.
just learned about this. I didn't even have time to text Leah, but we were texting. She didn't mention it. So
I know you guys just got your phones back and you haven't seen a lot, but there was this little video where Kaylor was chatting with a friend and the friend was talking a little bit of smack about Leah and Kaylor didn't necessarily shut that down. Basically, the friend was like, I don't give enough about Leah and no one's going to give enough about her in 6 months. And just being Leah's best friend in the villa, I wanted to know your reaction, Serena. Also, your reaction, Kordell. It's giving jealousy.
Yeah, honestly, y'all know I don't play about Leah. Y'all know I don't play about Leah, and I don't know if it's because she's like blown up and it's like, oh, now, we have all these things to say. I don't give a shit. We not gonna forget about Leah in 6 months. Nobody gonna forget about Leah. She's an icon. She's my icon. She's a queen. And whoever that was can shut the hell up.
But I will say, Kaylor, it seemed like they got to hang out a little bit after filming.
Yeah.
And Kaylor said it was all love, and Leah reposted that. So y'all Love Island USA Islanders are so good at conflict resolution. I don't know how y'all do it. You will tear each other the F up and then be best friends and hugging on each other just like this. And you guys move. I don't know how y'all do it. Like it's so crazy.
It's like we're literally a family. So
That growth.
like, when you argue with like a family member, it's like, okay, now come here. And I mean, it wasn't Kaylor who said it.
Yeah.
So I think that plays a major role as well. Like I'm sure if it was Kaylor who said it, Leah definitely would, probably said some stuff. But if it wasn't Kaylor who said it, maybe whoever that was trying to like make Kaylor feel better about something, or we didn't have much context, but just keep Leah's name out your mouth if it's not positive. Don't let me hear it.
I love that they had you to give them a platform to share all their thoughts about Kayla and their love of Leah. My two questions for you. Well, first one, do you think all these couples, these final four couples, are going to make it? Which couple do you have the most hope in?
I definitely have a lot of hope for Kordell and Serena. They definitely seem super in love and very much connected. And I think, I mean, they went through it in the villa. Like their relationship was tested up and down, left and right, front and back, and they made it through. And so I think that they're essentially bulletproof at this point.
Okay.
Kayla and Aaron, who didn't make the top four,
So
I think are still I'm not really sure. Kayla's actually about to be on the Viall Files just solo, and she's expected to drop a lot of tea. And a lot of people are wondering if she and Aaron are still together because if she watched any of the season back, baby girl, she is not. She's not gonna want to stay with Aaron. I really don't see that happening for her. So we'll see. But the thing is that Kordell and Serena went through a Casa Amor situation that was sort of similar to Aaron and Kayla. The difference was is that Serena held Kordell accountable and Kordell took accountability, whereas Kayla did not hold Aaron accountable, and Aaron basically just said whatever needed to be said to manipulate Kayla back into.
Oh, girl. Okay, so listen back to before you post Instagram story and watch back this show to see what your man has been doing. Wait, my other question. Because Ariana's hosting the reunion, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think she'll be fun with that? Like, what's that vibe?
Oh, I think she'll be amazing. She's been incredible this whole season, and I think, and we talked about this before, but I think because she came from the scandal experience where she's been burned by a guy, she's very sympathetic and empathetic towards the way the girls have been effed over during the season of Love Island. And I just hope she's able to give Kayla some words of wisdom, some love, some advice on how to move forward in the situation with Aaron. I mean, I asked Serena, like, look, like you handled your situation so differently, and Kayla did not. Did you try giving her any advice? Did you try to coach her through her situation with Aaron? And she was like, I mean, I could give advice and I would give advice, but it was very clear that Kayla didn't want my advice. She just said that Kayla loves Aaron up and down, and as sweet as Aaron was in the beginning, there were just like a lot of red flags we saw throughout the season, especially during Casa Amor. Also, he's the former winner of the Traders in the UK, and to win the Traders, yeah, right. That's kind of an ick. Like you have to be a little bit manipulative and deceptive to win the Traders. So I don't know.
No. Okay, so I hope Ariana talks some sense into her. I also feel Ariana, while she's getting ready, like holding the cards and everything like that, she's going to be talking to herself like, do I want to go back to WeHo to film with some people? Because I think she's onward and upwards, in my opinion, for Ariana. Someone else from Bravo who is an active Bravo alum, while Ariana's still a TBD Bravo alum, Kim Zolciak. She's a Bravo alum, but an MTV, newbie on the scene, because she's in this show with Chet Hanks and Macy Gray and Allie Brooke and Tyler Posey. It's like the funniest combination of people of all time.
Yeah, I mean, like the Surreal Life was such a moment in the early 2000s, and now it's back on MTV, and now it's the Surreal Life
Villa of Secrets.
Villa of Secrets. So, oh, like Love Island, they're in a villa and they got some secrets. Okay, so there's a theme for the summer programming, reality TV situation. Danny, when you got the opportunity to talk to Kim Zolciak, I was so excited. Just first of all, I was excited to see that she's still in her house that's been potentially for 73 times.
Mm-hmm.
That was honestly, that made me feel good. I was like, is she gonna Jenn Pedranti be evicted, and where is she gonna Zoom from? So it was nice to see that she had a roof over her head.
That is a main comfort. I don't know if it was natural lights, if the lights were on, but she's in there. She's in there. And so she's still in Atlanta, but don't expect, well, it's funny. I think she kind of got her wires crossed if she wants to come back to Atlanta Housewives or not. She told me never, ever, ever. She told some other people maybe, but I think the general consensus is that she thinks that RHOA is on the up and up because they made the best decision of their lives getting rid of Kenya Moore.
I think it's the best thing that could have ever happened to that show.
Really?
Yeah, you meet people and you have relationships with people, and you get angry or you get frustrated, but like when you're just, I think the core of who you are isn't, or your character is heavily flawed. I think that's a great decision, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. And then I know they're saying that they might want to bring Phaedra back in the mix or something like that. So I think they're looking for
Phaedra. Love Phaedra. That would be great. She is so funny. When I think about her, look, I smile. She's so funny. I love her. That would be a good addition.
You know who I think would be a great addition? Hello.
Honey,
would you? You're done.
I'm never. I literally will never go back to Housewives of Atlanta. Like literally. I just. When I think about it, I had so much fun. But I also, in Connecticut where I grew up, if you don't like somebody, it's like, we don't like you. I don't like you. I'm not going to talk to you. Down here, what I learned the hard way was we go to lunch and have lunch and this great conversation. Then you go and do an OTF or you sit down and do an interview and you talk all this crap about me. I was so upset the first couple seasons. Like, what? We just had lunch and I'm in my interview like, oh my God, she's so great, blah, blah, blah. And then you're over here. It really, I mean, when I say I have PTSD from things, I really do.
I think for Kim, that probably felt like the ultimate prize because she's probably still brewing and stewing on that iconic moment from Kenya when she asked a question about who was Brielle gonna blow for John Legend tickets, which in Kenya's defense, Kim Zolciak did tweet, who does my daughter have to blow to get John I think it was she'd even tagged Chrissy Teigen.
She did.
So I mean,
I'm confused what the issue at hand is with that, but yeah, that really, and then do you remember the continuation of that where it's like one of the funniest things is when Portia is like, she's like, and then she's talking about your injured son and daughter. And like Kim brushed it off because I think she's like, I'm too heated at Kenya to talk about anything else. But I'm like, Portia, what? But I know, I feel like that was literally one of those like revenge of the dish, best served cold.
What else did she tell you? I feel like Kim Zolciak said a few things.
She wants Phaedra to come back. She thinks that's the best decision ever because Phaedra just makes her smile. She literally had to pause and be like, I'm smiling right now because you brought up Phaedra. So they love each other. I mean, Kim loves Phaedra. I think Phaedra loves Kim.
No, we've talked to Phaedra about Kim, and she was actually, before she was renegotiating a contract to return to Atlanta Housewives in some way, she told us a few months ago that she would like to see Kim Zolciak back. I mean, even if Kim doesn't want to be on the show, she would like to see Kim back on the show because she has a lot of story to tell. Obviously, there's a lot going on with her and Croy and the family and the kids and the house and the this and the that and the police visits and stuff. So, and now that I'm saying that, I'm like, wait, maybe that doesn't sound like Housewives. That sounds like Cops.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Imagine that and then be like, okay, now do a confession. Like, she's busy. Kim is busy. But she's not dating yet. She says that she's not ready for that yet. But she told me she's going out for wine with friends for advice. I don't know what that entails around dating, but maybe she's like just like dipping her toe back in the field a little bit with that.
I love that she's still into wine. It makes me think of her line from Don't Be Tardy, which is like, I'll be feeling good by 9 after my third glass of wine. Okay.
Oh, I hope you know her brand is strong. She brought one of her Louis Vuitton luggages is all wine, and she brought red Solo cups to the villa.
Oh my God. Still the red Solo cup. She's saying committed like that. Wait, that makes me happy.
Her and Johnny Weir, thick as thieves in the house, just sipping wine all day. It's honestly like, I feel it probably was the best of time.
It sounds kind of nice. Okay, so are you going to the Love Island villa or are you going to the Villa of Secrets with Weir and Zolciak?
I'm going to the Villa because like I feel the Villa of Secrets has some more tea to spill. And
also, Ally Brooke is there, so we could like convince her to do a Fifth Harmony revival reunion.
Did say that'd be hard, but you know, there's something. Who knows? I think the girls are free.
There's at least 3 of them are.
3 for free? Who knows? What else is great to know is that Jenn from OC Housewives came by and like you saw like her in a really heated situation with JaNa, but now she let us know that they're in a good space, which is great because I hate when the girls are fighting a little too much. You know what I mean? I'm like about things where it's like, are we gonna fight? How many episodes are we gonna fight about a house? You know what I mean? And I know it's like business for JaNa, but I'm glad it seems like they made amends.
Yeah, I love to see them two getting along, especially because they are so similar in so many ways. And I also feel like they each are going through so much, and the last thing they need is to be fighting over croissants. Like, let's just, and flag football. Like, let's move on. Let's be allies instead of enemies. We got other girls on the cast to do that.
And also because Jenn had some things to say about Tamra still to us. So, yeah, she has some other people to occupy her time.
Wait, yeah, speaking of enemies, what did she say about Tamra?
She basically said Tamra showed her colors, and it's like she wanted to give Tamra the benefit of the doubt because the first season Jenn was on, she's like, that's my friend, I'm going to defend her no matter what, and wasn't hearing that from Tamra. And she kind of went into this season with Tamra saying Tamra made amends, but the patterns of Tamra apparently repeated themselves, and now she's saying that Tamra's trying to script write about how she handled the Ryan FBI stuff, because Tamra told us she didn't bring up Ryan first. Jenn is saying quite the opposite.
I would say we were in a great place, and we were both looking at it like one day at a time, one step forward. So much so we wanted the guys to take a step forward with each other as well. And it felt good. It felt fun to be moving back. She is fun. And then patterns repeat themselves.
It's interesting you say patterns repeat themselves, because when I talked to Tamra last week, she said the same thing, that you guys were great and in a great place. She said Shannon was the reason you guys are no longer friends. She said Shannon started to meddle, and it kind of blew up y'all's relationship.
So that's completely untrue.
Okay.
Completely untrue. You know, we were trying. Tamra and I were having a great time together, and there was all this talk and chatter still about Ryan. Well, if you love me, you don't have to love my partner, but can you respect the relationship? And so I was already hearing a little bit of chatter.
Because she also did tease that, because with the Ryan and the accusations that come up in the trailer and everything like that involving the FBI and things, Tamra said, I didn't bring it up first, is what she told us. She said, I didn't do it, it was someone else. Is that Tamra Tattletales or no?
I would say that's Tamra Tattletales.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, even like in this kind of episode, I mean, you've seen it, I'm assuming, and watching it back, right? And you see, you know, Eddie and Tamra kind of just bringing you up just for like out of thin air. I mean, like watching it back, did that like stir anything up in you? Is that kind of the root of the issue when you look back at it?
So it doesn't stir me up anymore with Tamra. Honestly, it really doesn't. It doesn't really affect me at all. It doesn't surprise me either. Eddie, I love that man. I spent a lot of time with Eddie, and I have tremendous respect for Eddie. And gosh, do I wish he and Ryan were in a different position. I sure do. But you know, at some point, it's not worth the energy anymore, and it just might not be. But I have mad respect for Eddie.
Oh, or maybe Jenn just hasn't seen certain scenes, you know, because you don't know what you don't know. And I feel like a lot of these girls go through seasons not knowing what was filmed, what people said in scenes that didn't involve them, what they said in confessional. So I hope that Jenn is either right or soon discovers the truth of the matter. I hope that we discover the truth of the matter, because we've got two girls telling us different things.
I know. We need to know where the middle is. Maren Morris. So I'm very excited for that, but I got so excited this week for Beverly Hills to come back, because Bernie talked to some of the ladies at the red carpet, and really interesting time to talk to Kathy Hilton.
Oh my God, I know. I love that Bernie had a moment with her on the carpet, because Kathy, I feel like she just always keeps it real. You can ask her whatever, she'll answer exactly how it is according to Kathy Hilton. And the world according to Kathy Hilton is the world. That's the world I want to live in. But she had a really interesting response when Bernie asked her about how she reacted and how Kyle reacted to Mauricio kissing that young little pretty thing in where were they? Mykonos. Yes. And I hope Kyle's doing okay. At least a little bit better after Kathy had to calm her down.
So everybody's talking about these poor pictures of Mauricio and this other woman. Is Kyle okay?
I think she's okay with it. I think it was a hard pill to swallow seeing it. And so what I'm trying to do is just kind of calm her down a little bit, like, you know, this is bound to happen. Been separated. You know, you've said he can do what he wants to do. You can do what you want to do. And, you know, this woman was the one that ran up and kissed him. It's not like... So...
As Kyle's sister, how did that make you feel?
Well, I knew eventually we were going to see something, but of course, you know, that hurts me.
Well, I'm glad Kathy was there for her, and I'm glad Kyle immediately took wifey out of her Instagram bio because Kyle is continuing to thrive. And I mean, I can't wait to watch more of it unfold on the next season of Beverly Hills because something tells me they did it as a unit last season. I think Kyle is meaning business more this season.
Yeah, I need a premiere date yesterday.